Hello there and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Bobbie and this is Bobbie Reads Tarot. I have been reading tarot for about 30 years and I also am a medium, so I get downloads as well. So today's reading is going to be all about the sign of Sagittarius, and this is going to be for Sagittarius, sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, or Venus. And this is going to be for the time period of July 20th through August 20th, 2024. And I have pre-shuffled these cards, so we are just going to go ahead and cut them and get right into the reading, okay? Okay. Make sure those are kind of squished on there so you can see them. Okay. So right away this month, Sagittarius, you are either heavily relying on your intuition or you are going to need to rely on your intuition. Your intuition is going to be your guide from July 20th to August 20th, 2024. Remember that when you're trying to make decisions or when you're assessing things, just remember to rely on your intuition and not your ego. What's going to be blocking you or perhaps getting in your way, it could be a bit of a challenge, is this Four of Pentacles energy. Four of Pentacles is about stability and managing money, but it can also really talk about someone who's like very tight with their money, someone who perhaps is a bit of a miser. So you might be your being frugal may come up as an issue this month. There may be something that you need to spend money on, and if you decide to be really frugal and go with the least expensive option, I feel like it's going to come back to you and you're going to have to pay for that again. You're going to have to replace it again. So be sure that it's not about paying the most money for something, but it's about getting something quality, okay? So if you have to make any big purchases between July 20th and August 20th, really keep that in mind, that you're making the best choice and you're not just choosing what's the cheapest option. The energy that you're most recently coming out of is this Queen of Swords energy. This Queen of Swords energy talks about being very knowledgeable, being very independent, very high achieving. So I feel like you are someone who, I get a lot of feminine energy from you. Does not have to mean you are a female. It just means that you have more feminine aspects than masculine aspects. And I do feel that you are this very strong, independent, you know, like you handle your business, you watch out for yourself, you can protect yourself. That's where you're coming from, but you're heading into the Seven of Wands energy. And the Seven of Wands, this can talk about resistance or opposition. So you might be going into a time here where you're going to start to have opposition that perhaps you haven't seen in a while. This could be opposition that maybe you haven't felt. And this could be in a lot of different aspects of your life. We'll pull more cards to see what else we can find. But I do feel like you are going to be heading into a time where you're going to just have more opposition. People are going to be a little bit more perhaps like pushing back or not really wanting to hear your ideas, or just people maybe being very stubborn. But there is this time of resistance coming. I also feel like there is some partnership in your life, Sagittarius, that you are wanting to part from. I feel like if you're in a relationship, you're at the end of this and you are ready for it to end. But there's also this Five of Cups energy. And this Five of Cups energy is the sadness energy. Um, it can be loss, sadness, regrets. So I feel like this relationship, even though you are ready for it to end, there is still this knowing that it's going to also come along with these emotions, or perhaps you do decide to end it and you're surprised that you have all of these emotions. But I do feel like there are going to be emotions connected to this break. Now, if this is not relationship, then this can definitely be a friendship, a partnership, a business relationship. So lovers does not always have to be actual lovers. Um, it can be something different. It can be some type of partnership. But it is time. You feel like it's time. You're ready for that to to begin to end that. The next thing we have is the Seven of Pentacles reversed. This is talking about procrastination. So I'm wondering if you are knowing what you have to do here, but you are perhaps procrastinating, because, no one wants to do that, right? No one wants to end a relationship or initiate a separation of some kind. But right behind your Seven of Coins, we have Death reversed. And Death reversed talks about an ending. It talks about a conclusion, a wind up, a cessation. This is the ending of something. So even though you're procrastinating, the end of this is imminent. It's the environment that you're in. The environment that you're in is saying this is not going to continue anymore. And then we have this King of Cups reversed. Now, the King of Cups is someone who can be kind of volatile, someone who is maybe has like destructive patterns. They engage in things that aren't good for them. Maybe they have really unhealthy habits, or they could be someone who perhaps is maybe suffers from some perhaps mental health issues. But I think a big part of your fear in ending this is how this person is going to react and how they're going to take that news. And one of the things that you need to understand is that you have to do what's best for you and live your life, doing those things that are in your best interest. So you can't make decisions because you're afraid of how someone else is going to feel if that situation is not the situation for you. And then, this is not wanting to go down. And then we have the Five of Coins, or Five of Pentacles. So this can talk about some hardships. So you may be financially connected to this person, and by separating or parting from them, doing this ending, it could create some kind of hardship on you. Perhaps if this is a partner and you're living together and you ask them to move out, it's going to increase your living expenses. If this is a business partnership and you choose to walk away, it could cost you money. But I do feel like the ending of this is going to impact you financially in some way. Now, that doesn't mean you're going to stay in that energy. It's just kind of how sometimes these separations go. So now I want to begin to pull some clarifiers so we can get a little bit deeper here into this reading, Sagittarius. Okay. So we have this Knight of Swords reversed that's clarifying this High Priestess energy, okay? Knight of Swords reverse talks about stressful situations. It can talk about situations that have perhaps been blown out of proportion. It can be someone who's on the warpath. So you might be feeling these feelings of being really frustrated and wanting out of a situation. And it could be pushing you to the point where you feel like you're on a warpath. You want to be free. You want to just take the sword and you want to just cut it off and you want to get out of it. This is an incredibly stressful situation. It's impacting you a lot, okay? But remember, you have that high priestess energy. So you have that ability here to rely on your intuition. So don't get too far ahead of yourself. Really pace yourself, especially in this situation. I feel like this is something you should not rush through. I think it's something that you need to be very intentional and deliberate as you are getting out of whatever this situation is, okay? So then we have the Six of Cups reversed to clarify this Four of Coins. So again, Sagittarius, for some of you, this is going to be a work situation, but I really feel like for the majority of you, we're really looking at a relationship, okay? Because the Six of Cups reversed, the Six of Cups talks about nostalgia, but it also talks about like clinging to the past. So either you or this person could really be holding on to what was instead of looking at what is, okay? And make sure that this holding on to the past, because this is what's blocking you, right? So, and then with this Four of Coins, you know, we talked about at the beginning of the reading the different things this could mean, but I really feel like Four of Coins is you wanting to really hold fast to this relationship, even though you know that it's at its ending, okay? And but you are spending all of this time thinking back on how it used to be, how it was, and you're so hopeful that it's going to go back to that, but I think you know that that's not going to happen. It's not going to go back there, and you know that. And clarifying the Lovers reversed, we have the Knight of Cups reversed. The Knight of Cups reversed talks about a disappointment. It talks about being unmotivated. It can talk about something that doesn't materialize. I really feel like this Knight of Cups is talking about this Lover's reverse card, and it's clarifying, or it's talking about how there's this great sense of disappointment that this relationship didn't work out, because I think you and that other person had such high hopes and you came into it with such pure, beautiful intention. And so it's difficult to really look at it as it is now. You know, it's like when you want something so bad, but it doesn't materialize. So the relationship that you, I think, both had hoped for, it wasn't something that materialized for you. And then we have this King of Cups. Did we have the King of Cups before? We have the King of Coins reversed. Okay. So again, this person is going to have a hard time with this split. It's going to be something for them that hits them on an emotional level, because they're a sensitive guy. It could be a man or a woman. This is just masculine energy, but they're a sensitive person. King of Cups can also represent fatherhood, so you may share children with this person. But it's really tough, because I'm feeling like there's this feeling of this sadness of why couldn't we make it work, because maybe this person really is a great person and a really great potential partner, but for whatever reason, it's just not your partner. It's like you can't make it, you can't make it work out. Okay, so then we have the Seven of Wands clarified by the King of Wands. I'm purposely not pulling on the recent past. We're just going to move past this, okay? So with this King of Wands reversed, King of Wands, this is someone who can be a little bit, fiery tempered, and I do feel like it's going to be, the breakup is going to be tough. I feel like it's going to be hard on specifically the other person. With the Seven of Wands, it's, you know, it's like it's lacking confidence, or it's like vulnerability, indecision. And then that's coming with this very, you know, fiery, upset energy. And so I feel like the person is just having a really hard time understanding why they're being rejected. They're they're going to struggle with it. They're just really, really going to struggle with why things are happening the way that they're happening. With the Seven of Coins, it talks about, you know, we mentioned that this was a card of procrastination. And the Sun reversed is a goal not achieved. It's something that's not accomplished. So you are, through procrastination, you could be really just delaying the inevitable. So it's time to really move past this, because again, you know, we have this Death card here. Let's see, Death was clarified by the Three of Wands reversed. Three of Wands reversed is about careless mistakes, negligence. So the relationship is ending. And I'm wondering if it's just because perhaps there were just careless mistakes in communication between you and this person. And that was this kind of a catalyst for your wanting to perhaps leave the relationship. Then we have this King of Coins reversed. And this was talking about your fears of how this person is going to react, how they're going to handle everything. But we have this Ten of Pentacles cards clarifying it. So eventually this person, they're going to find this Ten of Pentacles energy. They're going to have this stability. They're going to have this opportunity to find the happiness in exactly what they're looking for. So just know that their future, they're going to be okay. It's hard for them right now, but what's lying ahead for them is good stuff. But I just think that perhaps the match is just not the good match. You guys are not the good match for one another. And then we have this Five of Pentacles, which was this tough energy, right? Of feeling, just going through a hardship, going through a hard time. But this is clarified by the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups is this beautiful card because it's the card of happiness and family and joy. So what I'm really seeing in this reading is that by ending this situation, it's going to lead to happiness for both you and your partner. I just feel like the two of you are just not the match for one another. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're both really great people and you have really great qualities, but there's just, whatever reason, there's the chemistry is not quite right there. So let's pull some more cards here. What's going on with the chemistry? Why is this just not meant to be? Why is this relationship just not meant to be? So we have the Eight of Pentacles reversed. This talks about perhaps feeling trapped. It can be stuck in different, it can be talking about like being stuck in your career, or trapped in like your, what you're going to school for, or the work that you're doing. So there could just be different life tracks for the two of you where, if you were to stay together, you would kind of feel trapped and you wouldn't be able to live out your full purpose. Okay. Like you have things that, that you need to accomplish, and so does this other person. And together, those things can't be accomplished. So that's why this isn't destined to be the long term. But it's because there's something so much better for both of you. Okay, can we get, I want 2 cards for the future of how this is going to turn out for Sagittarius beyond this time period. So remember, we're looking at July 20th through August 20th, 2024. So this is not something that will occur during this time period, but I just want to get 2 cards from Spirit on what Sagittarius can look forward to after the conclusion of this relationship. And I do want to say that if this reading is not resonating with you, that is okay. These are general readings and they're not always going to resonate. So I would also recommend checking out readings for your sun sign, or well, your sun sign if you're not here for your sun sign, but also your rising sign, your moon sign, and your Venus. Okay, I just wanted to point that out really quick because this is a very specific, very pointed reading, and I feel like this is directed towards some very specific people. So with that being said, just know that. Okay, so what's going forward for you and how this is going to work out is that you might go through a time of emotional pressure. I feel like there might be a lot of things going on in your life where you're going to need to be able to specifically focus on yourself. I think that it's a really good time for you to do some things that are good for you, some self-care and some self-love, and then really work on what are the little issues that you have that could be worked on. So are you someone who finds that you get jealous really easily? Are you someone who maybe is passive aggressive? So this is during this break, Spirit's like saying, this is your time to work on yourself. We're going to give you this break so that you can then work on yourself and handle all of the things that you need to handle. And then after that, you're going to move into this 8 of Wands energy, which is action. This is acceleration. This is news. This is moving forward into your best life. This is like picking up speed and going. Okay, so this is all really good stuff. So basically, it's like take this time right now to work on healing all of the things within yourself that you need to heal and focus on. Okay, so that's like a big message that's coming through right now. Okay, and then finally, I want to end this reading with some oracle cards. So let's just see what we can get for the sign of Sagittarius. I'm going to move these out of the way, you guys. So this is going to be for the sign of Sagittarius. We said it is July 20th through August 20th, 2024. And these are just some final oracle cards, any final messages, information that you need to know. Just kind of the final wrap up. If you found that this reading resonated with you, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Also, if you have not yet subscribed, take a moment to hit the little subscribe button if you like my content and want it to show up on your feed. Okay, we're going to let's do 5 cards. These will be your final 5 cards, unless we need clarification, and then we'll pull more. Okay, so the first card that we have is the snake. This talks about a potential enemy. It can talk about competition. It can talk about other people. It talks about also looking over your shoulder. So there could be someone in your environment. I am not feeling like this is connected at all to the person that we were reading about. I feel like this is someone different. I am feeling like this is someone at work. I feel like this is someone who is watching you and is attempting to take credit for the things that you do, your work. So be very careful and very mindful. I would encourage you to strongly document just anything that you feel might be necessary for documentation purposes, okay? But don't trust people right now. Just lay really low. Don't share anything that's personal or private or can be used against you. Keep those things to yourself right now, Sagittarius, and just sit back and observe. with the Coffin card, this talks about new beginnings. It talks about being reborn in a transition. This is very similar to that Death card that we saw when we were looking at your Celtic Cross reading. So this is just that reaffirmation that it is time for that to end. And it's like providing you this new opportunity. It's a new beginning. It's a new cycle. So when people look at the Death card, or they look at like Coffin or things like that, they look at them as these very like scary, frightening cards, but they don't mean like actual death. They mean the ending of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. So this is a really beautiful card of you're going to have those new beginnings that are going to start coming into your life. Then we have this golden mirror. So this could be talking about perhaps the feelings that you have romanticizing that person. Remember, we talked about how, maybe there's nothing wrong with them and maybe there's nothing wrong with you. You're just not compatible. There could just be some very unhealthy behaviors that take place in the relationship. They don't even have to be that major. I do feel like with this golden mirror, I feel like this is more of you exhibit the behaviors that your partner has themselves and hate about themselves. Does that make sense? So like all of the things that they can't, like there's things about you that they cannot stand because it reminds them of things about themselves that they don't like. And this could be, you could feel the exact same way. So I feel like you guys could be pulling out, like triggering each other, like pulling out, like reflecting to each other these like negative sides of yourself. And I think that this kind of goes back to talking about working on yourself. It's taking accountability for your responsibility in the relationship and then looking at what do you need to do to become a better, more healthy person so that when you enter your next relationship, you can do so from a much healthier place. That's the energy that I'm getting from this golden mirror card. Then we have clock. And clock talks about needing to take time. It talks about cycles, and it talks about healing and progressing. So this is basically like a message that you're going to heal, you're going to progress, you're going to make it through this. It's just going to take some time. You're not going to be able to transition from like where you are now to exactly where you want to be. It takes some growing pains, but that's where the lessons come in. Okay. And the final card that we have here is the Runner. This talks about a fear of intimacy or running away. So look at your traits. Are you someone who pushes people away? Or are you someone who perhaps is like you pull someone close to you, but once they get close, then you push them away? That's a tough thing. I know I struggled with that for a long time. So these are messages from Spirit that are calling things out for you to notice, so that you can take a look at what's going in your life and you can improve and become the best version of yourself possible. I hope that you guys liked this reading. I want to thank you so much for trusting me to read your tarot. Also, if you're interested in private readings, I do offer those as well. All of the information is on my website, and the information to that is down below in the description box. Thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.